This week on Tumbleweed and Tocai, we explore an interesting mosque, visit an ancient monastery carved into the rock, discover a castle we didn't even know was there, learn about the Hittites, play with the Puli, and more. Hi, I'm Jill, and this is Terry. With our Puli Tocai and our van Tumbleweed, we're exploring the world. And this is the Puli in flying puppy mode. These are the caves near Gümüşler Monastery, which is a Byzantine cave monastery carved into a massive rock. We're dressed more like polar bears than usual because it's -3 outside centigrade, so that's cold. I have 3 layers on the bottom and 5 layers on the top, and I hope I'm not too cold.
Let's go see this monastery or church.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Quickly. This is the Basilica of Gümüşler. 10th, 11th century-ish. What's interesting about it is this. It's carved out of the rock, but it has an open ceiling. These appear to be terracotta amphora, so probably for the storage of wine, or olive oil, or water, or all of the above.
All right, the frescoes, he says, are in there, and we go that way down 2 levels.
This monastery, the Gümüşler Monastery, dates from the 11th and 12th century. They never found any writing about who established it or anything, but based on the style of the iconography that's here, that's how they were able to date it. And it's noted for having a Madonna with an enigmatic smile like the Mona Lisa.
I found this monastery very interesting, especially the chapel area, considering that it was carved out of solid rock. The frescoes, the remaining frescoes, pretty good condition, some better than others. Interesting place to come visit.
And here we have another big stone circle that could be rolled into place to close off access. If you had a better tour guide than I, you could go down this tunnel, but not happening with me as your tour guide. Nope. Traveling to the coast, we encountered a bit of old autostrada, 2-lane, no shoulder. Hit a major giant pothole. It triggered the emergency fuel shutoff system. So we went along, no power brakes, no power steering, flashers flashing like a crazy van. Luckily, we were able to find an exit and coast off, but it was scary. Thanks to YouTube, we were able to find it and reset it. Today finds us in downtown Adana in Turkey, and we are in front of the Sabancı Central Mosque. So let's go see what we can see.
All right, let's go. It's supposed to be a relatively new mosque and built by a very rich Turkish individual whose name I have forgotten.
I bet it's Sabancı. This mosque is absolutely beautiful. It's stunning. They say the design was inspired by the famous Blue Mosque in Istanbul. It sits next to a river and is nestled in a beautiful park. Inside there's beautiful marble, amazing Islamic calligraphy, and lighting that highlights the height of the dome. This mosque is huge, built to accommodate almost 29,000 worshippers, one of the biggest mosques in the Middle East. You can see its high minaret, 99 meters high because there's 99 names of Allah, from almost anywhere in the city of Adana because the city is fairly flat. The mosque is absolutely beautiful inside, covered in marble and real gold leaf. The calligraphy was all done by the same artist. The colorful tiles are in the Iznik style, and the marble was inspired by classic Ottoman and Seljuk art. We debated if we should actually stop and see this mosque in Adana, but I'm glad we did. It was very beautiful inside and lots of white and gold and big circular lights hanging all the way from the domes at the top, and just beautiful, some calligraphy and also just repeated patterns and tessellations that just set my heart afire. So we have all the accoutrements that come with shish kebabs and Adana kebab. Looking very delicious. Here's the chicken shish kebab, and over here we have Terry's Adana kebab. Now we're heading further south to the city of Antalya, known as Antioch in biblical times. This is the Museum Hotel in Antalya, and they were going to build a hotel, but during the construction they discovered mosaics, so they did a really cool thing. They made a museum under the hotel. They raised the hotel, preserved the mosaics, and now you can walk around and enjoy them. I used to quilt all the time, so these designs of these mosaics just make my heart happy. There we have the little donkey with his grapes and grapevines and grapes on the vine, and I guess he's taking them off to be made into wine by this guy. This is an evil eye mosaic. So there's the evil eye. It's been stabbed with a trident, a pitchfork, and attacked by scorpion and snake and dog and I don't know, and a panther, they said, and a raven. That's a tray of jewelry. And the writing above her head says wealth. That mosaic down there has all these animals, all these birds depicted. That's pretty cool. Unfortunately, this area was heavily damaged during the Turkey-Syria earthquakes of 2023, but Turkey has done an amazing job at rehabilitation. There's still some of this temporary housing, but they have done a really good job at recovery. On our way to Karatepe Aslantas, Antique City, the Hittite site, we discovered this castle. Didn't even know it was there, so it just begged for exploration. Ready? Karatepe Aslantas is a late Hittite site from about the 8th century BCE, and it formed kind of as a satellite state after the collapse of the main civilization. This is a feasting scene. At the top, they're bringing food and drink, and at the bottom, there are the musicians with it. Looks like a tambourine and some sort of lyre and some sort of flute. Here's an example of the ancient writing, hieroglyphic writing. They found a stele here in this writing and in Phoenician, and that's what enabled them to decipher the language from the Hittites. They are human with long hair and beards, shafts in their hands, but at the bottom, they're bulls with hoofs and tails. This has the writing at the bottom. More of the hieroglyphic language. I wouldn't even know where to start. In a boat, fishing. This guy maybe is rowing. And there's birds to be had. Nice kitty, nice kitty. Don't bite. This is storm god Tarhun's ball, and we know that because there are hieroglyphics written on his clothes. Here we can see the faint hieroglyphics where it tells us who he is. Karatepe Aslantas Antique City were on two trade routes. One was where the Phoenicians took manufactured stuff up to central Anatolia. The other one was where cedar logs were floated down the river to the sea to make ships. More amazing hieroglyphics. The fact that they could decipher these is just really remarkable. Oh, this is a ship with sails. And we've got couple people rowing, One guy, I don't know, looking out or steering. And this guy must be the coxswain, directing activities. And down here in the water, we have fish and people. This is the tree of life, with a tree and goats in this case. This site is really famous because they found a stone here written in 2 languages. It was in the hieroglyphic script of the Hittites and also in Phoenician. And because scholars and archaeologists could already read Phoenician, they had kind of a way to decode the ancient Hittite language, so they cracked the code. Lion man with hieroglyphics on his base. A bird. Somebody under a palm tree. Seem to have a few extra hands. This guy, don't know, he might be a falconer or a hunter. He's got a bird on his arm and a stave that he appears to be poking out a lion or a leopard. More amazing hieroglyphics. Oh, and this guy is quite a character. He looks like I don't know what he reminds me of. This stuff dates from 700 BC. It's Hittite. Another lion. Ooh, you're looking good. Oh, and here we have an archer. Did you see this face? Yeah. Two animals eating a human, and then up here it looks like 2 vultures eating an animal, a goat or something. Sign told me that this is the king fighting off 2 lions at the same time, showing us how powerful he is, and then 2 vultures eating an animal.
A rabbit.
I like this guy. The hieroglyphics at the bottom probably tell us who he is, but he's just kind of fearsome looking. This ancient city is in a beautiful place. Unlike most of the rest of this trip, we have a beautiful day today. I'm in a t-shirt and not freezing. It's crisp, but it's such a lovely change.
It is a change. Lovely.
So we just got back from touring the Karatepe Aslantas open air museum, and it was an interesting place displaying these stone carvings, relief carvings from the Hittites, which were people, it dates from 700 BC, so that's pretty amazing.
Found it very, very interesting. There wasn't a huge amount of stuff here, but what they had for me was really, really interesting. Carved reliefs, a few whole statues or partial statues. We had the thunder god, we had the war god, we had several gods. We had depictions of the king showing his strength by taking on 2 lions without weapons.
This is near the Karatepe Aslantas antique city, and I think those walls that are visible at the far end of the lake are part of the fortifications of the city. They said you can only see it when the water's down, and the water's down. Thank you for watching this episode of Tumbleweed and Tocai. We really appreciate it. If you liked the video, please give us a like and consider subscribing down below. It really helps small creators like us. Join us next week as we continue to explore the fascinating country of Turkey.